Look, I welcome any opportunity that we have to debate what is the #1 issue, effectively, in my belief, in the country, which is the provision of homes and housing for people. And I enter this debate as housing spokesperson for Fianna Fáil with an open mind. I would put on the record as well that, and we have said it time and time again, that we believe that the reduction from 20% to 10% under Part 5 was a regressive step that was made by the previous government. I do believe 10% is too low. I would say as well that we have to look about what consequences in relation to increasing from 10 to 25 seems like a big jump. The 30% under SDZs as well. I think we do need to look about how that delivers. And I want to just talk about a couple of things very briefly. Both Deputy O'Brien and indeed Minister Murphy have acknowledged the fact that we all know in this House, whatever political hat that we wear and whatever party we're in, is that rents are out of control now. And actually, for a whole generation of people out there, my biggest concern is that they're never going to be able to aspire to own their own home. And that's why Fianna Fáil insisted and worked hard in confidence and supply to ensure that there was an affordable housing fund put aside of 310 million over the next 3 years, 100 million a year, and to establish an affordable housing scheme whereby individuals and couples can purchase and own their own home. I think that is a fundamental part of getting people back out, and I want to see the criteria delivered on that. So what we try to do is to use our mandate in a constructive way, to be critical, yes, as well. And I've been very critical, Minister, of government policy from time to time, but I have come forward with our alternatives and with other suggestions, and that's why, indeed, I do welcome the bill. I don't think the bill is entered in any other way than actually trying to put forward another viewpoint and another solution, but we need to get housing delivery up. I've one thing that maybe that Deputy O'Brien will address later on. I want to follow on from the point that the Minister has made about the over-reliance that this appears to point to, again, on the private sector. I have to say I would agree with the Minister on that, and I've been very strong and very clear with saying that public housing should be built by the state on public land as well. We've enough zoned service state-owned land to deliver about 114,000 homes, and we should be doing that. And I welcome direct build and building on state-owned land. And I would say that we have had instances whereby, very recently in Deputy O'Brien's own constituency, whereby mixed schemes were voted down by councillors in South, and I believe, Deputy O'Brien, some of your own councillors who opposed it. Now, there will be local reasons, and I've always put in the record, and as someone who represents Dublin Fingal, I've supported every social housing scheme that has been proposed in my county since I got into politics in 2004. I've never objected to one, nor have any of my colleagues, nor will we ever. You need engagement with local communities, yes, of course you do, but fundamentally, people need homes, they need houses. Fianna Fáil believe in that, and that's a core belief of what we believe in, but we believe in actually delivery. And that's where this has got to come to. It's actually ramping up the supply. In Rebuilding Ireland, Minister, our targets are about 50,000 in public homes between now and 2021. And we need to see an increase in that. And if that means some increase in Part 5 to deliver it, well, fine. But I think this year we're 3/4 of social homes delivered will be delivered by the private sector. That is an over-reliance on the private sector, I believe. So, we need to make sure that the balance struck is correct. And what I would like to see is a focus particularly on housing delivery on state-owned land and getting better. That's why we insisted again in our budget negotiations with government of raising the discretionary cap from 2 million to 6 million to give more autonomy to the local authorities to get on and to build, and to relieving the Customs House from some of the work that they're doing to streamline that process. I would like to see that cap increased further to 10 million, so we can have local authority estates of up to 40, 50 homes being built without having to go through the 59-week four-stage procurement process. So my concern around this does relate to the unintended consequences. I have not made a definitive decision on it, I'll be honest. We wanted to hear the debate here this evening. I would like to see the Part 5 level increase. I think what has been correctly done, and that previously Part 5 was over-relied upon, and that was previous governments that Fianna Fáil were involved in too. but cash in lieu and moving sites, I think that has been the correct thing to do, is to halt that and to stop that. But when you do that, I think you automatically will reduce the percentage delivery under Part 5 by putting in those restrictions. So I think we could have brought a bill forward to say, well, we want 40% Part 5, and because that will deliver more homes. We actually do really have to look about what that will actually mean on the ground. What we're about is delivery, an affordable housing scheme, more public housing. Rents are out of control, as you know. We're looking at year on year about 11% in Dublin. National rents 30% above the 2008 peak. We need to house people in permanent homes that are secure for them.
Thank you.